So, earlier this week, one of my older friends ended up taking his own life. I mean, one of the parts that kills me about what happened, besides how terrible it was what happened, he had interacted with I interacted with his last post just hours before he did what he did, and I didn't say or do anything besides just react to it. And that post even had, a sad tone to it. And in the last couple weeks, I had even had just random reoccurring thoughts of him and memories of him, and that carried on to the last status that he made, and I said and I did nothing. And I know it's over social media, and I couldn't have known just based off of social media alone. And I know those close to him physically and people more active in his life, whenever they, noticed that he was struggling or not doing as well mentally, like, they probably did the absolute best that they knew how to do to try to help him. And that brings me to, yes, like, we can do a lot, and there's a lot that people are learning and reading about, and there's videos all about mental health, but there comes a point where there needs to be professional help involved, and there's nothing shameful about that. And speaking of shame and healthcare, no one should ever feel ashamed or be shamed or be treated or thought as less than just because they require medication just to have the strength to make it on to another day, have the strength to want to keep breathing voluntarily. But anywho, basically it's just life right now is so alien and unnatural to our bodies, to our minds, to our spirits, and like, no wonder it's so difficult to navigate and just get through life. Just think about not that long ago, a few years ago, like, I was born in 95. I think back to just making phone calls from the house phone and setting aside time for that to call a certain person on a specific day at a specific time, or writing handwritten letters and sending that to people, and also putting in effort in making homemade food as gifts and spending genuine, deep, quality time with other people. Yes, right now we have one of the most broad understandings of this planet and people, like a broader understanding than anyone ever has before on this planet, but we do not have a deeper understanding by any means. Instead of angry strangers online being your example and influence and feeding you on how to think and navigate the world and treat people and react to people and what to say to people, reach in and use that love. Do not let pride and pettiness take over. And when you're thinking about your reality in life and what it is, your perception needs to be inspired by real life, day-to-day human interactions. I know a lot of people don't get that, but I mean, even by saying hey to your neighbor, if you have a kind one, I hope you do. Going to the store and the cashier is just being kind to you, and I hope they are. If you're able to even get out of the house at all, I hope you are, and I hope you don't have a toxic home life. Day-to-day, everyday people are not cruel and absolutely just evil in the things that they say, compared to the things that people do and say behind a damn screen and on a keyboard. We were not made to have this much negative information coming in all the time and feeling overwhelmed and wanting to take care of and fix so many issues. We can't, and we won't ever be able to. We have to simplify it and ground ourselves and think about our daily, everyday lives and the reality of that, and change where you live if you can, change who you're hanging out with if you can. That defines your direction that you will go in life so much. It will define and influence how you think so much. Back to the whole online thing, it's just that, I don't know, instead of just commenting and reacting on people's posts and counting that as any degree and level of importance in friendships, go and take a little bit of time and make plans to call somebody, to actually check in with somebody and have a conversation. As much as I have called myself and consider myself as an introvert, my desire for real, genuine, deep human connection and love has never been stronger in my life. And too many people are hanging way too delicately to hope and joy, and there's not a lot left. Just spare a few minutes out of a day, and whatever somebody just crosses your mind, only for an instant, make a note. Just spare a few minutes later on and make that phone call and possibly save a life.